Okay, we got a bit of an experiment going on here. This is the first video that I've ever made with this Kodak camera. I've finally got a memory card for it and a few of the bits that I needed. This is the camera that I don't know whether I'm going to be able to take on motorbikes with me or not at this stage, but I just thought I'd see how we go making a video in the workshop. And also, in case this video works out alright, the Tiger Cub we see here, I found a couple of little things I had to attend to on that. Obviously I've had to swap petrol tanks and had a bit of fun with the fuel tap and whatever. In the process of doing all that sort of stuff, believe it or not, I found out that not only, well, I knew actually, I didn't find out, I knew that there was no gasket between the manifold and the carburetor, but it had the O-ring in the face of the flange on the carburetor. But the manifold where it joins the cylinder head was loose on one side, and there was no gasket between it and the head. Now that manifold had been on the head years ago when I did whatever I did. I'd probably ground the valves in and everything and seen the manifold bolted on and just left it alone. So I've now got a gasket between the head and the manifold, and between the manifold and the carburetor, and I made a couple of adjustments to the carburetor mixture screw and tick over screw accordingly yesterday when I did all that. But I have experienced starting difficulties with this occasionally, as I did when my very first attempt to start it ever since it was all put together. More often than not it's been an easy starter, but occasionally, and more recently, it's got more grumpy. And I've checked and I've got very good sparks, and the fuel seems to be getting through alright. I also made sure that the main jet and the pilot jet were clear yesterday, so I'm about to make a cold start attempt and just see what happens. That went better than I was expecting actually. I also, yesterday, I had to take off the rocker oil feed pipe union nuts, and anneal some fresh copper sealing washers, because an oil leak I had previously had reappeared in that area from this one. So I think I've got that under control again at last, I hope. Also got, I think I might have already mentioned, but I've also got some new rubber knee pads on the way. They should probably arrive any day. We've had our post today, but maybe tomorrow. I might take this out for a little run later on. I'm going to try next to see if I can rig up this camera to take with me on the motorbike. If not, I've got a backup, because my replacement for my Fuji XP70 camera, exactly the same, turned up today in the post, so I should be good to go to make videos, either using my son's Fuji XP140 or a direct replacement for my own, which wore out. I think this seemed quite happy actually with the cold start this morning. The compression is building up tremendously now on that kickstart. You could almost stand on it. to ride this. Now it's got a gasket in there and a gasket there, and the manifold's bolted on tightly, and well, our fuel tank isn't leaking anymore. The speedometer is back as it should be. I think I will get my friend Lee to redo this paint job on this tank, and I think I'll keep it silver. I'm kind of liking the look of that. So like I say, this is a sort of experimental video on two fronts. One was to see if this one was willing to start this morning, which I'll take it as a yes from the Tiger Cub, and I just want to see how videos come out from this camera. It seems to have, it's more zoomed in even when it's zoomed out, if you know what I mean, than the other ones. This is zoomed right out at the moment. To zoom it in, obviously, sorry, that's my shakes. Zoom it right in. My word, you'll see the inside of the engine in a minute. Zooming back out is a bit slow. It's going. Excuse my shaky handwork. That's better. Hey, you can stall it just by making it stammer and quickly open the throttle like I did then, and all is good. Let's see if I can stick my neck on the line and start it once again. Camera's gone a bit skew if the I see. Right, bear with me folks. Like I say, this is all a bit experimental. I'll have it in a minute. There, something like that. Must get a switch on this, but to be fair to it, my Trials Cub replica has been waiting much longer, and that's in the front of the queue, but at least they'll start and they can be ridden, and stopping them is just a matter of stalling them one way or another, but I'll get round to it one day, I promise.